Errol Spence, true to his word, he says post-accident he's taking his weight more serious and he's staying in shape. Good for him. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing if you want to become part of the gang. Notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. Yeah, we working. Now head over to the Patreon ASAP. I got a lot of new content coming, so make sure you guys check that out. Or you can hit the join button, become a YouTube channel member. And again, we're gonna blow that up, and that's the next order of business. Another great way to support the channel is to click the link in the description and head over to ESPN Plus. Click that link, sign up for ESPN Plus. Tons of original shows, behind the scenes, exclusives, docu-series, and more. And it looks like live events, combat sports are coming back slowly but surely in this pandemic. So it's a great time to check that out. You can get it as a standalone app, or you can bundle it, ESPN Plus with Hulu and Disney Plus. Get 3 apps, all 3 of those apps for one price, $12.99, and it does help the channel. Personally, I have all 3. I've been using it. Just a lot of content. It'll take forever to try to watch everything that they have on there. So make sure you guys check it out to help the channel, so I can keep hitting y'all with that fire. Now, let's talk about it. Errol Spence, I made several videos about it where he was saying, basically, I'm just going to paraphrase for you guys. He's had a second chance at life. He's been given another opportunity at life. He says if he had a seatbelt on, he doesn't know if he would have made it from his accident. And, everything worked out in his favor in terms of not having any broken bones or, career-changing injuries, like a guy like Paul Williams, things like that. So very fortunate to be here. And he says he had to re-examine how he was living. He said he had just beaten Sean Porter, so he was feeling himself. And a lot of this was said on the Showtime podcast, All the Smoke, with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. And he said he was just feeling himself and partying. Just got back from Jamaica and spending time with friends, with his boys and stuff, from ripping and running. And he says before the Sean Porter fight and before the accident, of course, he said he had got his weight up pretty high, close to 190 pounds or so, 189 to 190 something pounds that he was weighing, and having to come back down to welterweight. He said his weight went up before the Mikey Garcia fight and the Sean Porter fight. So you have to understand the wear and tear on your body from something like that, because both of those fights were last year. The Mikey, I went to both of those fights. The Mikey fight was in March, and then the Porter fight, I want to say September, something like that. So these were back to back. So that means his weight was fluctuating up, down, because his weight was whatever entering the Mikey Garcia camp. He said it was a bit high. Then he lost it to make the weight. He came in a pound under 147. I remember that. He was like 146. And, he beat Mikey convincingly. But Mikey was a guy moving up. Sean Porter was a tougher fight. And, after the Mikey fight, and the victory and feeling himself, he must have went up in weight and then had to lose it for the Sean Porter fight. And, before the accident, I don't know where his weight was. But it's good to see that he's staying true to his word. He said that's one of the things he's going to correct, make sure his weight doesn't go up so much, up and down so much. And I think that's very important, and I stress that on my channel. I know a lot of fighters. I talk to a lot of fighters, and there's all types of different trainings, like routines and regimens and things you could do to train. Like some fighters getting scalding hot water to lose weight, and sweat it out. Like, I'm talking about not like you just draw a hot bath and run a hot bath. I'm talking about the water is like people under the stairs when the lady threw the daughter in the scalding hot water. Like the water, you see steam and stuff coming out of it. The sauna suits, not being able to eat much, and having this like little rabbit diet, where you can only eat certain things. Some people do some things and it's not healthy for your body. Now, the biggest thing for me, and I'm not a nutritionist, but I do, I just always researched fitness and I was working out and stuff, and I did a lot of research and reading on fitness. You know, one of my idols is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, what are you doing? Hey, Killian. You know, so I got a lot of game from him and other bodybuilders and just people in fitness. I used to always get the Muscle and Fitness and the Ronnie Coleman's, Jay Cutler's, and Flex Wheeler. You know, I just real deep into that. And, you know, there's a lot that goes into it when it comes to the science of nutrition, and it is a science. And some things that boxers do is literally detrimental to your body. You know, the way, if weight is such a tricky thing. If you do it wrong, it's a science. So your body's going to show the adverse effects. That's why you see guys like, let's say, David Lemieux, and he was supposed to fight on a Canelo undercard. He had to pull out because he got put in the hospital. He put himself in the hospital trying to make weight, trying to do too much, and he ended up getting dehydrated. I don't know if you guys have any experience with dehydration, like literal dehydration, because sometimes people walk around and they're like a bit dehydrated, but I'm talking about like real dehydration where your body is like tapped out. I actually had this is a random story, but I had a friend, you know, I won't say his name, but we worked together at Lowe's, and we were just I think we were preparing for inventory. So we had to get the store real nice and neat and stuff. So we were on equipment, you know, it's called a cherry picker. One person has to banner off the opposing adjacent aisles and stuff like that, so customers don't walk in there while you know, in case something falls over, like in the top shelving. And long story short, my friend came down from the machine and he was like, "Oh, you see that?" And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "You don't see that? Those spots." And I'm like, "Spots? Are you tripping?" I'm like, "Are you good?" And he was like, "Man, I'm seeing spots. What is that?" And he started seeing dots, and he's like, "Man, I can't see." And like, and he started freaking out. I'm like, "What the hell?" So, you know, me and I went and you know, told the office or whatever, and we ended up having to take him to the hospital, and come to find out he had dehydration. So he started like seeing little spots and dots or something, and it was because of extreme dehydration. So, but it was out of nowhere. You see what I'm saying? Like he was acting regular, we were joking and stuff, and out of nowhere he just started like tripping out. Like, you know, I thought he was on drugs or something. Chill out, Smokey. It's angel dust. I thought he was off that dust. Yeah, I was like, yeah, okay. I didn't know you like to get wet though. Sherm, dust, PCP, Primo, butt naked. That's what you had. I didn't know what was wrong with him. But anyway, dehydration is not good for you. You know, your body is made up of approximately 60% water. So, you know, more than half your body is water. So imagine these fighters flattening out. That's why you see them so shredded and their muscles look completely flat and ripped up. And sometimes even guys, they look ripped, but it is not, you know, not like a healthy rip, because they're, you know, they have no water in their body and stuff like that. So it's good. The biggest thing too from my fitness journey, like understanding fitness, is your body when you're younger is more pliable. Like you could put it through the ringer. I think that goes for most things anyway. Like let's say partying. If you're very young, like let's say 18, 19, 20, 21, right? There's certain things you could do to your body, and your body's going to be more forgiving of those things. Like when I was like 19, 20, 21, and we used to go out to the clubs and like drink and stuff, sometimes I would stay up and get home at 5 a.m. and have to be at work at 6. So I try to take a little 30-minute power nap and then have to work 8 hours. And then, you know, at one point I was working 2 jobs. It's just crazy stuff. I can't even imagine trying to do that now and survive, you know, 8, 10, 12-hour day off of no sleep, basically. But when you're young, you could do that and bounce back. Also, when I was younger, I could just eat literally anything. Like I could eat fast food for 2 meals and there's no weight gain, no, you know, I didn't feel weird, my stomach wasn't queasy, nothing. But I can't eat as crazy as I used to, you know, things like that, without at least adverse effects showing. So, you know, the thing is, Errol Spence is creeping up on 30, if not 30. You know, he's right around there, late 20s, early 30s, things like that. So there's less you're going to be able to do, and your body's going to be less forgiving if you fluctuate too much. And we've seen guys like Ricky Hatton, who's ballooned up in weight. That's why he'll never beat Floyd Mayweather. You know, he's never going to, even Pacquiao, he got stretched by him too. These guys are at the very least, gym rats. You never really see Pacquiao as weigh 40 pounds. You know, when have you ever seen Pacquiao look fat? Like where he just looked hella crazy. You know what I'm saying? You don't really see it. Yes, I just been eating that lumpia and then again. You don't really see him. And he eats a lot, but he works out a lot. So it's all leveraged out. You know, same thing with Floyd. I mean, this man's work ethic is insane. So it's going to be hard in boxing in general. So it's multiple reasons that I'm saying what I'm saying, but it's going to be hard to beat a guy like Floyd because he has that X factor of pure discipline. So it's good. You know, it's not too late for Errol Spence. He's still undefeated, and people have complained about it, seen pictures of him, and you know, you see it in the comment section. You see certain boxers, Broner, Gervonta, Errol, or whoever, and they're in like videos when they don't have a fight coming up, and people are like, man, they look kind of big, stuff like that. So you're in the public eye, people are always gauging your weight, but you know, to a degree, there's probably a reason why people are saying that and shocked that you look so much bigger than your campaigning weight, because ultimately it's not good if you fluctuate too much, and the older you get, the harder it becomes to make that same sacrifice with no results. So I'm very glad that Errol Spence is staying true to his word so far, and it looks like he's in good shape. I don't think there's sparring involved right now because of the pandemic, and he said he had on the Showtime podcast, he had his he doesn't have his permanent teeth fixtured in, so he's not going to be sparring, but he can still do his row work and, you know, calisthenics or whatever else he does in his routine. And it looks like, I could see, you could always tell, especially me, when I lose weight, you'll see it in my face, my face. And I think that's most men. You'll see it, that face start to thin out a bit, so the cheeks don't look all puffy like Kanye after the accident. Through the wire. So let me know what you guys think. Errol Spence, happy for him. I can't wait till boxing comes back and we start seeing the big stars like Spence back in action. I don't know how big the fights are going to be, but I like to see Errol Spence, because I remember Errol Spence when he was fighting Chris Algieri, he was in crazy shape. Some of the fights like that, it's been a minute since he's been in that type of shape, because I sent a dude to that fight and covered it for the Boxingego brand. Shout out to my dude Kari, and he has this clip that I use as B-roll, and Errol Spence's back was like diesel. It was just like a road map. Like he was like leaned out and stuff like that. But again, when you go in too high and then come too low and stuff like that, you're not going to have the same vascular definition that maybe you had before. But shout out to Errol Spence for staying true to his word, and he said the pandemic's kind of helping him because he's not able to go out and about, and he's eating nutritiously, things like that. That's all I could ask of a fighter, to make the best fights. And I hope the same for Terrence Crawford and Danny Garcia. I hope they're maintaining their weights as well. And it's just something that boxing, your shelf life is only so many years. There's always going to be someone bigger and badder, younger, and it's going to be hard if you don't sharpen your skills or you take bad losses and stuff. It's going to be hard to be at top. So, people got to have an exit strategy and just know that, hey, I'm going to be insanely disciplined. Like Kobe Bryant, one of my favorite athletes of all time. Definitely an inspiration to myself and the channel. Shout out to Black Mamba, rest in peace. Both of them, Roger Mayweather and also Kobe. But when it comes to Kobe, he was, as long as he was in it, that work ethic and that dedication was there. You know what I mean? And then he stayed true to that. He knew how long he was going to be in. Once he accomplished everything, then you could go off and do whatever you want. And that's what he started doing. He started coaching his daughter's rest in peace to Gigi, her camp and her team and whatever. And you get to enjoy life, maybe eat different and put on some pounds a little bit, and just enjoy life a little bit more. So just know when you're going to be in it and stay true to that. You get paid the big bucks for that. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. If you love what I'm doing, smash the like button. Highlight them links in the description box. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.